Hey everyone, it's Tori and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, we are going to be resetting for February, which includes discussing my goals for the month, favorites from January, and updating my reading and media journal for February. We're going to be starting out with my monthly review spread for January, and I've got my sticky note that I've been updating all month long for this spread, so let's just hop right in. I always start out my monthly review with printing a Polaroid of a photo I took this month, and this is me with a couple of my college friends when we got together for the first time in a while. It was so fun. I also added in some highlights of January next to my Polaroid, which includes being with my friends, having a Disney movie marathon with my sister, and doing a puzzle with my mom. In my loving section, I had to put in my Nespresso because it's my favorite thing ever right now. I'll leave a little video on the screen of me making my coffee with my favorite pod. I also got some new ACOTAR covers for my hardcover set, which I posted a short of a few weeks ago if you missed it. I've been really enjoying making movie collages in my reading and media journal, which you'll see in this video later on. And last but not least, I had to give a shout out to my heated seats because it's been freezing in the morning lately, and I love them on my way to work. For my watching section, I wrote Disney Princess Marathon for my favorite movie of the month, and a show I've been watching with my boyfriend is Friday Night Lights. I hadn't been watching a ton of YouTube in January, so I left that TV blank. For my reading section, I finished 2 audiobooks this month. The first was Iron Flame, which is the second book of the Empyrean series, and the other book I read in January was Heir of Fire, which is the third book in the Throne of Glass series. I filled in my star rating for Heir of Fire after this video was recorded because I didn't finish the book until the last day of January, but I do share my collage for that book towards the end of this video so you can see what I thought of it. I really didn't have any songs that I wanted to take note of this month, but I did crochet a birthday cake elephant and a cookie dough cow in January, which were both super cute, and I also learned how to make my mom's sauce, which is the best sauce ever. With my monthly review complete, we're now jumping backwards in my journal to fill out my February theme doodle. I always fill in a doodle for each monthly theme on this page in the beginning of my journal because I love how it looks when everything's filled in either in the second half of the year or at the end of the year. For February, I did a birthday theme because February is my birthday month and I drew a lot of cakes with florals in those spreads, so that's what I doodled in this box here. So after I finished filling in my February section of my theme doodle page, we can now move on to filling out my February dashboard. First, I'm carrying over all the events I have written in my future log to this vertical style monthly down the left-hand side. Then I'm filling in my goals for the month in the categories read, crochet, cook, and other. I'm actually planning to read 4 books in February and crochet a PB&J themed giraffe, so we'll have to see how I do with completing these goals in my next reset video. I didn't have a ton of tasks to fill in on this spread, so with my monthly dashboard complete, let's move on to my first weekly spread of the month. So I'm going with a different weekly spread layout from last year, so that means I have 7 rows on the right side for my daily events and tasks for each day of the week, and on the left, this is where I have a space to keep a weekly task list to carry over everything into my daily boxes, as well as a mini calendar and a place to write tasks that I need to move over to next week. The sticker kit I'm using for this weekly spread is the brown cozy journal kit from Pretty Little Studios, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, and these are my letter and number stamps that you can find on Amazon. By the way, I do have a discount code with Pretty Little Studios. If you want super cute journal and planner stickers, you can always use my code CMCG10 for 10% off your order at prettylittlestudios.com. So while I'm sticking all of these fun stickers down all over my spread, you might notice an extra box on the left side that I never labeled. I honestly just have been putting a quote or anything random in this lately. I'm not entirely sure what I want to use that last box for, but it's there if I need it. This dot marker is one of my favorite things lately, and I got it from Stationery Pal, which I do have an affiliate code that I will leave on the screen here. With my weekly spread complete, let's get into my favorite part of the video, which is updating you all on my reading and media journal. This is my reading and media journal, which is from Archer and Olive, along with the other journal you saw in this video. This particular journal is an 8x8 size, so it's a large square journal, and you still can get this size just in a different cover. I'm going with a Taylor Swift album theme for each month in this journal, and for January, I did a Midnights collage for the cover page. On the next spread, this is where I'm filling out the books I read and what I watched in January. I've been filling out this spread off camera, but I needed to add in the Air of Fire cover that I knew I'd be finishing before the month ended, and also a couple other movies and shows I forgot to add to my list beforehand. By the way, my star rating stickers are also from Pretty Little Studios. I always get questions on that, and that's where I got them. Moving on to my reading and media collages, the first movie I watched in 2024 was Pirates of the Caribbean, so I made a spread for the first couple movies, as well as Friday Night Lights, which I finished season 1 in January, so I made a collage for that as well. The next spread is dedicated to Iron Flame, which is the first book I read this year, and I will actually have timestamps on the screen to skip if you don't want to see any minor spoilers from my book review collages. I absolutely love this page. This is where I kept track of all of the Disney princess movies I rewatched with my sister, and I know, Anna and Elsa aren't considered official Disney princesses, but I think that's stupid. And it's one of my favorite Disney movies, so I included it. It is what it is. My next movie collage is for Burlesque, which was one of my 12 favorite movies that I plan to rewatch each month this year. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I explain it a little bit better in my reading and media journal setup video, which I will have linked in the cards if you want to check it out. We've got another movie collage. I wasn't kidding, this is my favorite thing to do lately. And this one is for Mamma Mia, which I watched both movies and I just loved the vibes and felt like making a spread dedicated to it. By the way, all of the images I'm using for these collages are not mine. I found them on Pinterest, which will be linked below, and I'm just using them for my personal journal, not trying to get in trouble with copyright or anything like that. My last reading and media journal spread for January is for Heir of Fire, which I created after filming this video, but still wanted to share how it turned out, so here it is. Now, without further ado, let's make a collage for my February cover page in this journal. As I mentioned, each theme for my 2024 reading and media journal will be based on a Taylor Swift album, and for February, I thought it made sense to pick Lover since it's the month of Valentine's Day, and it's also my birthday month, and this is my favorite album by her. Again, I found all of these photos on Pinterest, which will be linked below, and I downloaded all of them to Google Slides to arrange on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. Then I printed them all out on label paper, and I'm just cutting out all the photos with scissors to get started on this collage. I feel like I always get questions about that, and that's just how I do it. I stamped out February using my alphabet stamps, as well as I'd Marry You with Paper Rings, which is from her song Paper Rings, on this off-white graph paper memo pad, and I cut out each word to arrange on a quote page. I did this for January too with the Meet Me at Midnight lyric, and I really liked how it turned out, so I wanted to do it again. And I will probably be doing this on every single quote page in this journal. Then I took all of the larger images and arranged them around the spread to see what would fit and what looked cohesive together. That's one thing about collaging. I think if I could give any advice, it'd be to 1, print out your images on label or sticker paper. It makes things so much easier. And 2, lay out all of your largest images first and then fill in the extra space with smaller images and stickers and words if you're adding words to your collages so nothing gets lost. So after laying everything out to make sure it looks how I want the spread to look, I started taking the back of the label paper off each image and started sticking them down onto the page. Another piece of advice I have for you if you're interested in collaging is before you stick anything down, take a picture of what you have with everything laid out and reference that photo as you start pasting or sticking images into your page. This way you don't forget where you had all of your images when you're working from the bottom layer of the photos to the top, if that makes sense. I felt like this spread was missing something, so I took some very light pink and yellow washi tape that I got from Amazon and stuck it down wherever there was like kind of an awkward empty space, and that is my February reading and media journal cover page complete. I'm in love with how this turned out. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Also, don't forget to check out my bullet journal social medias. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!